had an interesting experience. Before I get into today's topic, I'll talk about it. As I was meditating Thursday night, again, going through some rough times with that meditation. I was doing all right. I was listening to some good theta music, some theta waves, and good deep relaxation meditation. And then the heat began. I got brutally hot, just like in my Ascension. It came on extremely quick, and it lasted for about 20 minutes. I mean, I had to take my clothes off, my shirt and I was brutally hot. And I was like, what's going on? And then I realized that my higher self was a few inches from me. And when that happens, the heat begins. Remember when I said in my near-death experience, it felt as I was as warm as the sun. The love flowed through me. Now, I didn't feel the love, but I felt the heat. And I knew my true self, my higher self, was above me, or right inches from me, possibly. And it lasted about 20 minutes. When I got done with the meditation, I laid back and it was still happening to me. So, on the right track, things are going very well. But I've been very, very tired. I haven't gotten to a lot of the questions that you guys asked me this week because when I meditate, I take kind of like Friday night off and Saturday. I mean, when I'm dozing, I'll meditate, but anyway, just want to let you guys know that. Today's topic is something that's been asked of me several times. I did a video a while ago, maybe a couple months ago now, the interview that I did with Dave Sledge about my near-death experience, where I talked about World War III, what is coming. And that video blew up. I mean, it just blew up. And I was like, I didn't expect it, you know? It's nothing that I haven't talked about for years now. But when I do interviews with other people, they cut that out. They want all the love and fluff and everything else that goes along with an NDE. Well, I'm sorry, that's not always the way it goes. So today's topic is a direct request from several of you. Could you please talk about the upcoming, doom and gloom? So that's what today's topic is going to be about. All right. And when I do the video editing, it doesn't get left out. So today's topic is World War III. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. All right. There's only one way we can stop this from happening. And it's what I've been talking about now on my channel for over a year. Well, how do we fix what's coming? So let's talk about what's coming first before we fix it. In roughly 7 to 10 years, well, about 10 years, 9 now because it's going to be 2025. So 9 years, World War III is going to start. All right. It's going to start in one of two scenarios. So today's topic is going to be very short. It's going to be to the point. It's going to be this, and it's going to be nothing else. All right. So it's going to start in the East. I'm not going to name the countries. The one possibility that it can start. All right. One of two things is going to happen. The first scenario is another country will invade another country. All right. I'm not going to say how this happens. I don't want to put that out there right now. But that is going to spark World War III. Allies, all that kind of stuff. It's going to take, just like World War II, all right? Allied and Axis. It's going to happen. Second scenario, and this is the one that I firmly believe is going to be the case, but I'm not going to put out the one that I just talked about the other country invading another country, is that a massive natural disaster is going to take place. A huge natural disaster. All right. And that is going to be so massive and so devastating that the world will begin to fight over the last remaining natural resources. And as we have seen by our weather here in the United States and around the world at the moment, that is most likely the case. All right. Now, do we have to go into war because of this? No, but generally that's, when people, I can't get any food anymore, I can't get any water, you know what you're fearing. Fear, right? So that will initiate, again, World War III, and we will begin to fight over the natural resources, remaining inhabitable drinking water and food, all right? That war will last 7 years, just like World War II. World War II lasted 7 years. And in that 7 years, we are going to decimate the planet. Decimate the planet. We are going to just bring it, and as I've told you before, we will be exterminating ourselves, basically, all right? We cannot do this. But that's what's going to take place. So when I told you 7 billion people are going to die through starvation, this is how. Those that die in the war, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's not fine, but, it happens. When you actively kill one another, death happens. All right? But where the true horrific, crime, I would say, against ourselves is going to take place is the next 30 to 40 years afterwards, when the war is over, right? There will be no more nations. The United States will cease to exist. Russia, France, England, Germany, everything, right? There'll be nothing left, just smoldering ruins. Now, in that next 30 to 40 years afterwards, all right, is when you are going to see those 7 billion people starve to death. There will not be enough food or water to sustain life on this planet. All right? Now, I've gotten told, like, you're mean, Jay, the way you're talking. I'm not mean. I'm trying to get you guys to understand this point, that we have to change our way of thinking. So in those 30 or 40 years, 7 billion people are going to transition home horrifically. I mean, if you all know, if you haven't eaten for a day or two, if you fasted, you're pretty damn hungry. Now, if you get to forward to say, well, I can eat, there's no more food, right? And those that are clamoring for food are going to be fighting for it, right? So you're going to see that die-off happen. There's going to be no change in polars or anything like that. Nations are going to fall. Because there's going to be no one left to say, I'm an American. And when somebody asks me if I say, am I an American? Because I was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1970. After my NDE, I don't call myself an American. I was born in the West because I had things to learn here. To say that I'm an American is kind of like saying I'm a man and you're a woman, and that breeds individuality. It breeds we're separate. All right? I am no different than anybody in Japan. I am no different than anybody in Australia, England, France, Germany. You get it, the Middle East. I was simply born in the West because I needed something to do. But that's going to fall, ladies and gentlemen. When you think of 800 million to 1 billion people left on this planet after those 40 years, scattered around the world, right? That's like a needle in a haystack. Those are small communities now, right? When people will find each other and then they'll look at each other, and those will be the children that are born. I know this is going to sound weird. During the war, right? When, mom and dad have sex or they were pregnant when it took place, all of those children, let's just say that, all right? All those babies that were born during the war, right? They won't be indoctrinated. When I told you that we were indoctrinated and victimized, right? They won't have that from the church. That will cease to exist, which is exactly what we need to do now. And then they won't be indoctrinated into this horrific society, this slave-induced society here in the West and everywhere else that's based on money, individuality, Wealth breeds separatism, right? Just like when you step in front of another woman, you instantly change your dialogue because oh, she's a woman, right? The whole sexual energy thing won't be there, right? You'll still have that energy, but you won't be influenced by mom and grandma by saying, "Don't you touch yourself. That's disgusting. You go into your room." They won't have that victimization. They won't be forced to go to school when you see a 3-year-old holding a bag, bawling her eyes out because she's terrified. They don't belong there. And I've said this before in my videos. They don't belong going to school. The non-physical does not want to see them going to school until possibly after the age of 10. But the way our technology is now, why does anybody have to leave home? Nobody should. Especially the children. They can learn from home, be around mom and dad, be in their creative, godlike abilities, which is what they are in those formative years, right? So those are the things that are going to disappear. So when I say after that, after the war and after those 40 years, those stragglers will be those children that have not been indoctrinated into this horrific society through the church, through our own society and our own teachings, because we're lost, right? And I've mentioned this before in other videos. So go back and watch them. It's important. But they won't be indoctrinated into that. What will happen, what will occur when those beings meet, and they will be high vibrational beings. I mean, high up there, right? So when the world is destroyed and they're coming together, right, they will form tight-knit communities. And if there are, by any chance, someone like me, someone like you, a straggler in the government that wants to get, things back to, what they had or the status quo, they will be isolated and they will die alone. Because what is going to happen is those stragglers, knowing that we are all one, right? We are all one. They will be an egalitarian society in every sense of the word. Males in the male vehicle, females in the female vehicles will come together as one. They will understand that love is everything. They will have witnessed the most horrific human experience ever recorded, and they have lived through it, and they will know that love, I'm answering the first question, is everything. Love conquers all. There will be no difference between the male vehicle and the female vehicle. It will be inseparable. And they will build a society based on that. And what's left? How are they going to do that, ladies and gentlemen? When the world is destroyed, cities crumbled into nothing. Technology. Those satellites are still there. Right? They are going to use AI, artificial intelligence, it's here, ladies and gentlemen, it's here. And they are going to use it with ruthless efficiency. Ruthless efficiency. And they will create what I described and what you have heard of as the golden age of Earth. World peace, no hunger. Everyone is as one. They will be working with the most advanced technologies. Things like dementia, cancer, cured just like the common cold. Peace, beauty. How are we gonna? They will use clean energy. That big, beautiful celestial ball of fire that you see in the sky every day. Well, not here in Wisconsin because it's been cloudy for days and cold. It's 30, winter here in the Midwest. Then when you wake up and you see that beautiful celestial ball of fire, they are going to be working with the most advanced solar technologies, clean solar technology. We will get 90% of all our unlimited clean power from our sun. And they will use that, again, with ruthless efficiency. Second form of our energy will come from clean fusion. Yep, clean fusion. Remember, these beings are of high vibration, high energy, and they will use this technology with ruthless efficiency. Fossil fuels are over with, ladies and gentlemen. I've been saying this for a while now, and I'm here to say it again. Fossil fuels are over with. Your cars, my Jeep, your muscle cars, they are gone, no more. With what will we be using? Kind of like electromagnetic. Back to the Future. You've seen Back to the Future when the third one, when he pulls his wheels up and he's floating, electromagnetic. There you go. Clean energy. It's coming. And that in part with what is taking place with some of us. I can't say some of us, because this is going to be a two-part video now that I think about it, right? Remember last year at this time, back in August, I went through my ascension process, right? I got let go from my job. I started losing, as you can see, massive amounts of weight, dead, flappy skin all over the place. I went through my ascension process, meaning I ascended into the fifth dimension. And I heard that take place one night when I was sitting here. I was having a conversation with Father out loud, talking to the ceiling. Most people would think I'm nuts, but all of a sudden I heard a pop. Like, what was that, right? And my lips are numb, my face is numb, my nose is numb, I'm tingling all over. Basically, I moved into the fifth dimension that night. And I'm there. My body is being transformed into the crystalline body. It's happening to many of you right now. You went through some sort of ascension process. Those of you doing that have made it into the fifth dimension, because the earth, this earth, the new earth, will be and is moving now into the fifth dimension. They are leaving this 3D, low materialistic vibration area behind. It's gone. We will not come back here, except all of you who watch the videos, my videos, and around the world that haven't, that refuse to listen to what our NDEers are telling you in this experience that they're having and what's taking place. You refuse because you believe in the Bible. You believe what you've been taught. And I've told you from day one, you've been taught wrong. All right? Period. So all of you that are stuck, you will remain in the old earth. All of us will be moving into the fifth dimension. Now, what I mean by that is I probably have 20 more years of life left in me. So I'm 54, be 55 in April. So 75, roughly, I feel I have 20 more years in this world. But when I transition home, right? When I possibly go back into another life to clean that up, possibly, which most of us will do, right? But me, I'm starting to get a different feeling. I know I said that before. It's like I told him, I don't want to go back to 500 BC or 50 BC. I don't want to, you stink. Could you, so I'm having a conversation with it. But when we can come back, we will go into the new earth, the golden age, when we incarnate again, right? We've done the work here. We came and we did the work that is necessary. Love one another. Forgive quickly, no matter what has happened to you. Raise your energy. Raise your vibration. How do you do that? Everybody keeps asking me. Love one another, ladies and gentlemen. Love unconditionally. Doesn't matter. Quit worrying about you having clothes on. Oh, he's going to see my boobs. Who cares? That's you living in fear and being afraid, right? Why are we wearing clothes? That's what God wants to know. I know the answer, right? Why are you wearing clothes? You're ashamed of yourself. Why are you ashamed of yourself? You stepped away from oneness, away from Father. You're embarrassed, right? So that's all going to disappear in the new earth, man. That's all going to go. No more fear, peace, love, joy, harmony, health, abundance of love, conquers everything. So what happens to those that are left behind? They will be left behind on this earth, right? They will continue to live out their lives. And when all of them are gone, say after the war, if we don't stop the war, right? When everybody starts to transition home from starvation and all that, once that last individual transitions home or dies, this old earth will simply vanish. Like a smoke ring, gone. Well, then how can they come back into this? What's going to happen is those that, when they incarnate again, they won't go to the new earth like I will, or those that have ascended into the 5D consciousness already, right? Father will pick a new materialistic, low vibration planet for them to incarnate into. And that is exactly where they will go. They will have no recollection of earth. What earth? They'll just know of the new earth, that earth, right? They won't know of what we're in right now because that'll disappear. Remember, the universe isn't real, so it'll just go gone. Once every individual is gone from this, once everybody is gone from this version of earth, it will cease to exist. And when you incarnate again, it will be on another planet. It will not be on earth where we are. And that is why I am trying to tell you guys, we cannot allow this to happen, all right? And that's what I have been fighting for. That is what I have been instructing and telling all of you, that you were taught wrong. That's why there is no judgment held against any of us. That is why Jesus, Yeshua Bar Yosef, that's who the church calls Jesus, was sent here to wake you all up. He was sent here to muddy up the water. He was a rebel. Back then, what he was teaching was revolutionary. It was new age. They weren't ready for it. Most of you aren't even ready for it. So that's all that's going to happen with the war. It's basically going to be an extinction level event, damn near, right? We're going from 8 billion people down to 800 million to 1 billion people. That's a massive number change in this planet, right? So, and untold suffering. And I'm talking infants, babies, teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s, you name it. They're all going to starve to death. And those that make it through will usher in the new age, the golden age of earth, peace on earth. I just don't want to have to go through the hard route. We can change this. It needed to change in Jesus' time. It needed to really change 3 decades ago. We need to do this now. We're out of time, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming. In 2025, we're down to 9 years, give or take a year or two, under or over. Are you ready for what's coming? There's no amount of food that you can save. There's going to be no more power, no more electricity. Where are you going to get your water from? Are you going to go to the Fox River and drink out of it? I don't think so. You'll die. It's heavily polluted. You going to go to the Great Lakes? Well, that's heavily polluted too. No thanks. Where are you going to go to get drinking water? Maybe find a well if you're lucky enough somewhere. You still need food. You understand what's coming. We cannot allow this to happen. And I'm not the only one talking about this. I've seen other NDEers talking about what is coming. It's coming, guys. And I'm desperately trying to stop it. We need to love one another. All right? And that is how we change it. There's no polarities. There's no nothing except our extinction. Now, on the plus side, all those advanced civilizations, some of you see UFOs. We're being watched. All right? We are being watched, and we are being rooted on from much higher civilizations. They are watching us within the Pleiadians, the Arcadians, the Anunnaki. They are watching us and rooting for us. Come on, guys, come on. Why? They all went through it. All the death, all the wars, all the fighting, until they realized, man, nah, that doesn't work. Has it worked since the beginning of our existence on this planet? 30,000 years, 40,000? Nothing's changed. We keep murdering each other, raping each other, killing each other. Has anything changed in that time? Since the time of Yeshua? Has it changed? Nope. It doesn't work. The house of cards is already falling down, guys. It's already fallen down, and you're seeing the cards starting to fall. All right? The weather, the wars, it's happening in front of us. You're witnessing it, but don't boo-poo it. You need to stand up and you need to love them. You need to forgive them unconditionally. Not just say it, but mean it. It will bring you to your knees. You will cry. You will get upset. That is called doing the work. And that is what you need to do. Happens to me all the time. I'm crying all the time, and I'm like, look what you've done. You made me into a big effing whelp, but they love it. I love it because I'm feeling the love. All right. So that's what I'm talking about when World War III comes. Those two options are going to take place. One of those two. I won't talk about the first option again because that will really set the whole internet off and, go from there. But I really believe it's going to be a horrific natural disaster. And then people will start clamoring for food. And what happens when people become scared? They start killing. You took that up and you're going to, do you see what's coming? We cannot allow this to happen. I cannot allow this to happen. I love you all so very much. And I don't want to make it too long, and I'm going to end it there. I think it was a good mix of what I needed to talk about what's happening here. All right? Next time you go out, next time somebody cuts you off in the grocery store, next time somebody cuts you off in traffic, before you even get all riled up and, hey man, I love you. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you're okay getting to work. I hope you're okay getting to the store. You don't know if their child died that morning. You don't know if their husband of 40 years died. You don't know what is taking place in their life. So bite your tongue. Forgive them. Love them. There was someone that reached out to me after watching one of my videos. And I saw a post on Facebook that she had passed away. And we had just talked 2 weeks beforehand. She was asking me questions. She goes, I love you. Thank you for what you've done. I just want to go home. I said, we talked. And then I wrote on this post, I said, please tell me this isn't true. And her brother went on and said, yeah. And I was heartbroken. But in the same time, it was her time to go home. And I'm grateful that she got to experience that love that I did during my NDE. A very good friend of mine, he was gay, or is gay. He lost his husband. They've been together for 30 years. Prior to my NDE, I told him, because I thought it was going to happen, that, with my bisexual experiences, that I was going to burn in hell. And now his husband, is gone, and he's heartbroken, crushed. We're starting to go home quicker and quicker. The change is here. It's happening. 2025 is going to get nuts. It really is. And the first event that needed to take place, and I know many of you, and I will never talk about this again because I don't talk about politics, Trump needed to win. Okay? He needed to, whether you want to hear it or not. You saw the transition. There was no violence. There was no death. Look at that as a win on all our levels. All right? It needed to take place. And I'm glad that it happened that way because nobody died unnecessarily. So I'll leave with you that, guys. I'm going to go live this coming Friday. Yeah, I know it's the holiday weekend, but Friday night, normal, 7 p.m. Central Time, I will be on with you guys. I don't want to do it like Thanksgiving and the day after. You're still with your family. But Friday nights, I will be on. Bring your questions. I am going to answer somebody here on live because it is something like Kale B. Murdoch 2028 left a question, and I'm going to answer that one live. So you guys can be there, which you generally do. You see me on, and you guys are waiting in there. But I'm going to answer that question because it deserves to be answered. It's going to be a little but I always answer those questions with love. All right. So bring your questions. I'm sorry, guys. I've been brutally tired. As you know, the last year through my ascension, I have been getting up between 1 and 2 in the morning every day. I go to bed at 9, so I'm getting roughly 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep a day, if that, because I can't fall back to sleep after I get done meditating. After this year, I am just exhausted. I am just physically beat. But I know big changes are coming with my higher self that I explained in the beginning of this video, to coming down and being, damn near on me. The change is here for me. Something's happening. And I just feel the change coming in 2025 for me. And some of you can probably feel it in your bones that this change is coming. So put your comments down there. I get to them as quickly as I can. I do have a full-time job, working on a book, taking care of the kid, whatever, my life, I'm busy. I get to those questions when I can. Don't think that if I haven't answered you in a few days, that I will not answer you. I will get to you, but I cannot get to you all. I'm sorry. It's not anything against any of you. It's just I'm busy with work, busy with life, busy just as you are. So, and I run these businesses as well, so that takes my time. So just bear with me. Things are changing, all right? Hopefully this answers your question. We don't need to go this route. If we begin to love one another, forgive what's going on in these wars, forgive both sides, love both sides unconditionally, as God loves you, as Yeshua loves you and loves them and everyone. Love one another, ladies and gentlemen, unconditionally. I love you. I don't do this for me. I do it for you. I know the truth. I know who I am. The two things that we came here to do was, one, rediscover ourselves, right? And two, to learn how to manipulate energy. The first one I did. I truly rediscovered who I am. And now I'm learning how to manipulate energy. Love is the answer. Love is everything. As I love all of you. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and I will look forward to seeing you Friday night. I love you guys. Have a blessed day.